You're watching News 25. Local coverage you can count on. News 25 is brought to you by J.K. Nelson Law, voted best of Las Vegas. Give them a call, 702-727-9900.
Thank you for joining us here on News 25 and East Country Radio and streaming at KPVM.TV and now on Roku devices on this Wednesday, April 23rd, 2025. Good evening. I'm Chris Palermo and here is what's happening. Last night, a wild Mustang was hit in the parking lot of Albertsons. Following day, members of the community worked together to safely corral the horse, and News 25 has this story.
At around 8:30 Tuesday night, a wild Mustang was struck in the Albertsons parking lot. According to information obtained by News 25, the driver did not see the horse. The impact reportedly caused the horse to flip onto the hood of the vehicle, smashing the vehicle's windshield. The accident was not reported to authorities till the following morning. Once the incident had been reported, Southwestern Wilds, with the help of Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue, Animal Control, and community volunteers, were able to corral the horse and get him into the back of a trailer. News 25 spoke with Vicky from Southwestern Wilds about this incident.
Victoria Ballant here with Southwestern Wilds, along with two of our fabulous volunteers, Donna McIntosh and
Kiwi with Search Squad.
Yep, and we received an alarming call early this morning. We had one of our yearling Mustangs get hit out here in front of Denny's, where we are right now. We want to do a shout out because it truly took a whole community to help out with getting this colt into a horse trailer. He is injured. It does look like from the photos that the car was totaled. So again, I want to thank Scott Lewis and his team, and BLM is out here along with, like I said, many of our volunteers and other nonprofits. People have stepped up to the plate to offer assistance and with funding to help for the vet costs. I want to also thank Kathy Jenkins, who showed up also. We were able to use her panels and her vehicle here, which saved a lot of time in getting what we needed to get done. So what do we do, Pahrump? Where do we go from here? I've had numerous meetings with officials, elected officials at local, county, state, federal level, and I'm really personally getting very tired of this. And if my attitude comes off a little bit tough, it's because we're tired of this happening. You know, we are fortunate to be living in a beautiful community surrounded by mountains and environment and burros and horses and eagles and coyotes. Part of our responsibility is taking care of our environment. Part of our taxpayers' dollars is to be going to help protect our Mustangs, our burros. Last week, another burro was hit on Highway 160. So I'm going to throw a challenge out there to not only all of you out there listening, but also to the elected officials. When are we really going to sit down and put an action plan together? Some of you know I've met with you one-on-one, and we can't wait any longer. And how much more are we going to let this go on? So I want to thank Anthony and his crew at 25 for getting out here, and they're always on call to cover the things that matter to Pahrump. Thank you.
Following the interview, News 25 received an update about the wild Mustang. BLM has relinquished the horse to Southwestern Wilds, who are currently transporting the Mustang to Desert Pine Equine Center in Las Vegas for treatment. Any and all medical costs for the horse will be covered by Southwestern Wilds. If anyone would like to donate to Southwestern Wilds, go to southwesternwilds.org. All donations go to help take care of the wild Mustangs and burros.
And of course, we will continue to follow the story and update the public on the horse's condition as it becomes available. More news now. The U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Food and Drug Administration announced Tuesday a new initiative to eliminate 8 synthetic food dyes from the national food supply by the end of next year.
The U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the FDA announced a new initiative on Tuesday aimed at eliminating 8 synthetic food dyes from national food supply starting the end of next year. The plan targets commonly used dyes found in cereals, snacks, yogurts, ice cream, and medications. It involves revoking authorization for 2 lesser-used food colorings, citrus red number 2 and orange B, within the next few months. Additionally, agencies are also working with food manufacturers to phase out 6 widely known petroleum-based dyes: green number 3, red number 40, yellow number 5, yellow number 6, blue number 1, and blue number 2. The FDA is also urging companies to speed up the removal of red number 3, a dye previously linked to cancer in laboratory studies. Although federal rules require it to be removed from foods in January 2027 and medications by 2028.
And one of the probably, what when I met with, and I want to commend the food companies for working with us to achieve this agreement or this settlement. And when I went in a few months or about a month ago to meet with the food companies, I was talking with my staff about these petroleum-based dyes, and I said if they want to add petroleum, if they want to eat petroleum, they ought to add it themselves at home. We're going to get rid of the dyes, and then one by one, we're going to get rid of every ingredient and additive in food that we can legally address. One of the problems is that the industry, which all of these industries, cast a dark shadow historically over this agency. And there's so many conflicts that we are now systematically eliminating.
In support of this transition, the FDA is now planning to authorize 4 new natural food additives. This move is a part of a broader effort to shift the food industry towards cleaner ingredients, though it relies on voluntary compliance rather than new regulations.
These kind of food additives or scientific study, so that one by one we can start eliminating them where they can. Where we can't, there's things that we'll never be able to eliminate, like sugar. And sugar is poison. And Americans need to know that. It is poisoning us. It's giving us a diabetes crisis. When I was a kid, I always say this, a typical pediatrician would see 1 case of diabetes in his lifetime. Today, it's 1 out of every 3 kids who walks through his office door. In our most recent study from NIH, 38% of American teens, half our adult population.
The Department of Health and Human Services and the FDA is now calling on the food industry to establish a national standard and timeline to guide the shift from synthetic dyes to natural alternatives.
Coming up, we're on the ground with our Las Vegas reporter, Maria Centers. You're watching News 25.
You're watching News 25. Local coverage you can count on.
Welcome back to News 25. I'm Chris Palermo. As America secures the southern border with an increased military presence, our soldiers on the front lines and on the ground are faced with a unique set of circumstances. Our News 25 Las Vegas correspondent Maria Centers now joins us with more.
Last night, we profiled U.S. Army soldiers assigned to Task Force Sentinel who've been orchestrating aerial reconnaissance operations along the southern border. Working alongside and under the directive of U.S. Northern Command, Joint Task Force Southern Border aims to secure the divide and repel crimes. This evening, our U.S. soldiers detail the humanitarian aspects of their mission. That includes finding children stuck in the crossfire out in the elements and their own takeaways from being away from home for so long on a lengthy domestic mission.
Typically what goes through my head before I get into the bird or we go on mission is just, what am I going to see today? We don't like to see children suffer at the top of the mountain or anything like that. We want to make sure they get help and stuff. So that's what goes through my head. We try to get Border Patrol out there as soon as possible. It's not as frequent, which is a good thing. We don't see children often, but when we do, it really kind of hits home because they're just caught up in the mix of everything. Yeah.
Every year, tens of thousands of unaccompanied children arrive at the U.S.-Mexico border.
It's a difficult scenario because these are real people that are trying to come over here, but we're professionals and we do our job first.
This is a 13-month mobilization. It is a long time to be away from loved ones. It's hard.
The majority of undocumented children who reach the southern border hail from El Salvador, Guatemala, and Honduras.
Truth be told, I did not think I would be part of a mission like this. I thought I would be training for a while until an opportunity arose to do the job. So I'm really fortunate to have had the opportunity to come out here because it's great to fly. We're out of our local area, so we get to actually really, as a pilot, develop your skills. It's really unique to work with domestic agencies. I haven't worked with Department of Homeland Security before, Customs, Border Protection, Border Patrol. So it's really interesting to work as a soldier with our other agencies, which has really been a great experience to see how the government works, how our agencies work stateside.
First recognized by President Ronald Reagan, Military Spouse Appreciation Day lands on May 9th this year.
I just want to convey my gratitude and thanks to everybody that sacrifices to allow your soldier to be here to accomplish this mission. The men and women would not be who they are without the love and support from those at home, so thank you. We have a great team and they're doing a great job. One of the things that I love about being the commander is being able to see and meet more soldiers, and the more I do, the more I am impressed with the people in this formation.
On behalf of everyone here at KPVM Television, thank you so much for your selfless service. And to all of the military spouses, a big appreciation for holding down the home front. Reporting from Las Vegas, I'm Maria Centers for News 25.
Thank you very much, Maria. And coming up in sports, well, the Vegas Golden Knights, they have evened up the series now. It's 1-1. Minnesota came to town and they won. Mikey has that and more.
Time now for your News 25 look at sports and streaming at KPVM.TV. And now on Roku devices, Vegas Golden Knights in action last night against the Minnesota Wild Game 2 of the Stanley Cup playoffs at T-Mobile Arena. First period, Wild with a breakout pass to Matt Boldy.
The break has a step, scores! Matt Boldy's at all 3 Minnesota goals in the series and their first goal of Game 2.
1-0. Still in the first period, Minnesota in the zone. Marcus Foligno.
Side of the net, now centers and score! Marcus Foligno, and the Wild have goals on back-to-back shots.
Still in the first period, turnover by Shea Theodore.
Zuccarello cutting in, save, score! Broke off of Hill and in. And the Golden Knights pay the price for yet another turnover.
The game was all Minnesota. The Wild go on to win 5-2. Game 3 is Thursday, April 24th in St. Paul. Vegas Golden Knights are traveling to Minnesota to face the Wild in 2 crucial games, and fans will have the opportunity to support them at local watch parties. The first official watch party for Game 3 will be held at the Boulevard Pool at the Cosmopolitan of Las Vegas on Thursday, April 24th. Another official watch party for Game 4 will be set at Lee's Family Forum on Saturday, April 26th. Doors open at noon, with puck drop for that game slated for 1 p.m. Parking and admission are free. The Las Vegas Aviators had their game suspended on Tuesday because of rain. They were beating the Round Rock Express 1-0 in the bottom of the 5th. They're playing a doubleheader right now. That game is in progress. The 2025 United States Bowling Congress Women's Championships will host its opening ceremony Saturday, April 26th, as local and bowling dignitaries welcome the first of more than 4,100 teams and 16,000 bowlers to Las Vegas and the South Point Bowling Plaza, a bowling tournament venue inside of the South Point Hotel, Casino, and Spa. And that's your look at sports on News 25.
All right, thank you very much, Mikey. Coming up, we're going to let you know how to keep your computer safe and the weather forecast. Watching News 25.
You're watching News 25. Local coverage you can count on. News 25 is brought to you by Mountain West Lawyer, Injury Attorneys, 727-9500.
Welcome back to News 25. I'm Chris Palermo. Great Computer Deals has a report now with tips on keeping your computer safe. Their important message today to you is how to stay away from phishing scams.
Hey guys, Josh Osborne here with Pahrump own Great Computer Deals, and it's time for another quick tutorial. We're going to continue right along. We're talking about online scams. If you watched the last video, we talked about the fake antivirus or the fake tech support scams and how to spot those. The one we're talking about today is what we call the phishing scams. Phishing scams typically come in the form of an email, but sometimes you might find them on a website as well, but more commonly you see it in the form of an email. And what does this look like? Typically a phishing scam email is going to come from a company that you've probably heard of or maybe even do business with. That's how they come across as valid, is they're not going to say, hey, we're a scammer, give us your information. They're going to say, hey, this is Netflix. Hey, this is Wells Fargo. Hey, this is Microsoft. They're going to pose, and what they're going to say is, thank you for your account, but we need your account information verified. So click this button, come to the site, and fill out this form with all the details. And they'll make this website and form look legitimate. It's gonna have the right coloring, it's gonna have the company logo, it's not gonna have broken English anymore like it used to in the past. It's gonna look legitimate. But all you're doing when you fill out that form is you're literally giving all your account information for, say, your bank over to one of these Indian scammers, right on a platter. Don't ever fall for a phishing scam. These legitimate companies, like your bank, they already have your account information. They don't need you to verify it. That right there is a red flag alone. So again, guys, keep an eye out for this stuff. We're seeing it all the time. Do not be the next victim. There's other scams that are out there, and we're gonna talk more about them, but you gotta catch it on the next video. Thank you guys for watching this one. See you next time.
News 25 WeatherCam is brought to you by Lerner and Rowe Injury Attorney's Office in Pahrump. In a wreck, need a check? Call 702-877-1500.
That's the Lerner and Rowe weather cam right outside of the KPVM television studios here in Pahrump. Well, we've got some wind, as you can see, and if you're trying to take a smoke break, you're going to need that torch lighter today. Warm temps and the complete forecast is coming up.
Good evening, Nevada. My name is Rory Rosell, coming to you from the Channel 25 Weather Studios, and we're taking a look at Nevada right now up in northern Nevada. Fernley seeing 72 degrees, Fallon is seeing 74, Carson City's at 66, Tonopah seeing 70 degrees, Goldfield at 71, Beatty's at 80 degrees, Amargosa's at 86, Las Vegas 2 degrees lower at 84 degrees, and Death Valley is 97 degrees. But here in the beautiful Paradise of Pahrump, we're currently seeing 82-degree temperatures. The high today was 83, with sunny skies. The wind was blowing south at 14 miles per hour. The humidity today was 10%, and the wind rose this morning at 5:59 and is setting tonight at 7:24 p.m. The humidity raises up to 21%, and the wind continues to blow south-southeast at 15 miles per hour. The low tonight is going to be 53 degrees. Let's take a look at that 7-day forecast. Tomorrow is going to be 83 degrees, but then we see some wind on Friday and Saturday. Friday is going to be 19-mile-per-hour wind speeds at 77 degrees. Saturday is going to be 67 degrees with 17-mile-per-hour wind speeds. And then on Sunday we go down to 69. Back up into the 70s on Monday at 79 degrees. Tuesday and Wednesday are both going to be 85 degrees. So Pahrump, make sure not to blow away this weekend. Back to the desk. Here's Chris.
All right, thank you very much, Miss Rosell. And it's actually looking pretty good, a little windy as we begin the Amargosa Days starting on Friday. That'll just about do it for all of us here tonight. I'm Chris Palermo. Make it a great night.